So you say, you say all the time that it's really important to, block out any of the noise, really. Like to not listen to people giving you credits, not to listen to people who hate you and all that, which is
or as we continue to mature through the process, taking it with a grain of salt. One of the things I worry about when I say things like don't listen to anybody is then people become audacious and are tone deaf. So it's what I mean by that is like, look, don't get too high, don't get too low. When you hear information, have the humility to admit you're wrong. Have the, feel nice. I almost don't want people, when Jerry Rice says to you, you're the fucking GOAT, I need to take 100th of a second to feel nice about that, especially the 12-year-old me. But the truth is, when he just said that, it's 100th of a second of like, that's so cool. But then you just kind of move on and you remind yourself, yeah, but I have shortcomings, I'm just a man. And the same token, that allows you to also, when somebody says you're a snake oil salesman or you're a piece of shit, you can be compassionate to why they say that. They may not like the bravado of red hair, but they don't really know you. So it's, yes, I do say tune out, but that doesn't mean be tone deaf. And that's a little clarity on that.
Okay, yeah, that actually, I think that answers it pretty well, because I always thought like, isn't it like a resource that you can use to, when you get the numbers and stuff, like it pumps you the fuck up and you're like,
100%.
Oh man, I want to go. And then the next content piece that I'm going to create is going to be like, it has a different energy and all that. It's like a resource.
Yes, it's like ice cream. Everything in moderation. Like, when people are like, you can't have that. That gets a little crazy. It's kind of like the way parents are with alcohol. If you look at the countries where alcohol is demonized and is pushed very as like a negative, you see a lot of kids when they get to 18 or 21 or whatever it may be, really struggle with their relationship with alcohol. If you look at cultures where alcohol is not demonized, those kids have a much better relationship with alcohol through their whole life. And so I think one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to let other people's opinions have too much weight, whether it's pro or con, because then you'll have a better relationship with it.
Yeah, and a better relationship with yourself, I think. Like the one thing where I notice where I need to make my cut is like my self-worth needs to be independent of everything. Like, correct. It's not like, correct. It's just, the worst thing is when you define yourself over correct. Numbers or any sort correct. Of like achievement, because it's all just work basically. And like you just said, the human itself needs to stay, clean. Like you're just a human. You're not going to be any more than human. You're never going to be like a superhuman or something. But you're also not a piece of shit when your numbers go down or something like that. So.
And you know why? That is why. The person that just said Russia has a massive drinking problem, there's an overlay on that, which is just general depression of the ecosystem they live in. Anyway, nonetheless, what's important about that is, Simon, is that if you're really passionate about the process, all of a sudden the results don't carry the weight. The fact that you're doing it carries the weight. Yeah,
and there's like that place of authenticity. It's so important that you just need to do what you like, really like. You need to be 100% honest to yourself, I feel like. And if you start doing shit to get results, then it's always gonna
it's always gonna fail. It's always gonna fail. Which is why, which is all these different themes, no different than that proper gentleman who said, "You're wrong, Gary, Russia has a problem." He's right about that, but then I overlaid, but there's another variable. Same to this talk, which is all these variables, about loving the process versus the results, lets you not worry about numbers or accolades, cheering or booing. Yeah. And then if you layer another thing on top of it, this is why I'm spending almost all my time of how in the world are we gonna make happiness the win, not fame and money? Like truly, how are we gonna make that happen? And what's a struggle for me is I am most happy when I'm buying and selling, like garage selling, sports cards. I'm my most happy as a businessman, and I happen to be a good businessman, so I'm not gonna be in a place where I'm going to not have money. So my voice on happiness over money is gonna be blurry, because the one thing that made me happy was actually something that made money. But if I had a little—
So you're talking about the process being buying and selling, right?
Yeah, yes, that's why. I don't know if you've ever seen my garage sale videos. It's why it's why I'm so happy in those moments. Like waking up at 6 a.m. to go buy something for I mean, I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning the other night buying 500 Tim Hardaway rookie cards for 80 cents a piece with the hope that it's going to be worth $3 in a year because basketball cards are going up. And it made me so happy. I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning doing it.
Cool. That's awesome.
So I'm a merchant. I'm a tchotchke guy. I would have been a trader if I was 500 years ago. I would have been the person that went in the woods, found a rock and was beautiful, convinced the person that had sheep that it was a beautiful rock. I got the sheep, feed my family. That's my DNA. But musicians, artists, parents, teachers, we need more people to talk about loving what they do. Like we need a famous social media teacher who's so fucking happy, who she or he makes $53,000 a year and inspires an entire generation to say, oh, that's it. That happiness in the eye, not the 53K, because, oh, by the way, 53K knows how to manage their money, lives in a very lovely home, pays their mortgage, saves up for a Disney trip. Like there's so much happiness out there that is not being heralded. And what we herald is business success, fame success, which is fine and understandable. But if we just balance that with heralding people that are happy, not tearing down everybody, not cancel culture, but positivity of people that are happy.
Yeah.
If you're watching right now and you're genuinely happy, please make a video of like, I'm happy. I make $63,000 a year being a clerk. I make $104,000. Like, let's tell the world how many people are happy that aren't millionaires, and then shit will get very interesting.
And I get all these different ideas, and I feel like they're in so many different paths, but I can't figure out how to all bring it all together.
You don't bring them all together.
They say to do one. Well, on YouTube, like I keep watching. I watch a lot of videos on what to do, and they say, you should have one thing that you're talking about.
No, they're saying
I don't know how to do it all.
Donate.
And I get tired.
Donate. They're telling you how to win on YouTube. Okay. I'm trying to have you win in life.
Okay.
Like, stick with me here. Like, when you go through this process, when you say how to bring them all together, you don't bring them all together. You're the all together.
Right.
You're the part that brings it all together.
Right.
Like you, the human, the unique human is how it all comes together. The bigger question is
weird that I might talk about a face cream one day.
I'm talking about baseball cards out here. Donate, I'm talking about sports cards out here. I've got billionaire companies reaching out to me saying, are you okay? Literally, I had venture capitalists reaching out to me saying, are you okay, when they saw me make videos of going garage sailing? They're like, are you okay? I'm like, the fuck are you talking? Of course I'm okay. Like I'm talking about the Jets. I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about sports cards. I'm talking about wrestling. I'm talking about business, entrepreneurship, corporate life. I'm talking about parenting. I'm talking about TikTok. You're what brings it together. The bigger question is, are you worried that by doing so many different things that make you happy because you're wildly creative, because that's what it is, that you're concerned that by not having but that doesn't allow you to maximize dollars that allows you to have stability, to be at peace, to be able to do it.
Right, so that I can get out of my daytime thing.
Yep.
It's like,
so let's talk about it. I got it.
Because even TikTok, like, honestly, Gary, TikTok, if I do something on TikTok that I'm talking, no one really pays me attention. So here I'm 52 trying to learn all these dances, and I have all these followers, but they're all men. Like, that's not getting me anywhere.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Listen, there's definitely some baggage that comes along with being pretty. I get it. Listen to me. Listen to me. Donate, listen. I'm the same as you. What I have that has made it work is the ability to make one thing 80%, but go at it 110%, which gives me 20% to play. VaynerMedia is my 80%.
Right.
Garyvee, sports cards, garage sailing, social media. That's the 20%. I go hard at both, but I think what you need is to find your 80% thing. And in a world where there's a lot of things you can do, it's literally rolling the dice or throwing a dart or flipping a coin. You have so many passions. I think that you need to really think about having one core main thing the steak and then side dish everything else, but don't eliminate the side dishes because they're the things that allow you to focus on the main thing. My baseball card, sports card thing, my Garyvee, all of that are the things that allow me to actually be a very good CEO for VaynerMedia, because if I didn't have the side stuff, I wouldn't be able to be happy because I would burn out from VaynerMedia because my brain would want to do other things. I allow myself to do other things at what is perceived as the shortcoming of the 80%, but those other things allow me to be 110% on the 80. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I think you need to pick the sustainable thing. The thing that you
mean like a YouTube thing sustainable or a topic sustainable?
A business sustainable.
Oh, sustainable, yeah.
Got it? You're asking me so you don't have to do you need to be able to get out and do your thing at all times. You need to pick one thing that pays your bills enough to let
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I see. And that's what I want for you, because once you are selling candles direct to consumer or start an access business like I'm talking about, once you do that, you're gonna be then able to be a little bit more creative and play with social media and do other side things and talk about meditation or racial injustice. But you need the thing that is your oxygen, your well, that allows everything else to happen, but you're gonna need those other things to happen. The people that tell you to focus on one thing are wrong because you're wired to need the other stuff, like me.
Yes.
But the part that you're missing right now, good news, we got 52 more years to drill this, is I need you to build something that is sustainable as your one thing, but not cut off everything, because then that's holding your breath and you're gonna eventually breathe and the whole thing's gonna break. So you need to build a sustainable thing, but still do 20% of the side stuff.
Right.
But you've got to figure out what that sustainable thing is.
Where the main problem lays is, like we just stated, is that people seek definition in success that is metricable and stuff and measurable. But I think we need to get to the core of like why people are in the base so unhappy and even have that base thought of like, I'm not good, so I need to define myself over something like numbers or something like that.
That's such a great point. Like I think this gets into self-esteem and insecurity. This is why parenting became a content pillar for me. Like,
yeah, parenting is huge. Parenting is like the biggest thing. I feel like just like in the last months, I've done so much like working up of like trauma and shit that is based on like childhood stuff. And I feel like that's basically all the reason for all the pressure that I put on myself in the last years of my career.
Yeah,
and like I've been in that place where I find myself over numbers and stuff. I was fucking depressed when it went down and stuff.
Why are these artists doing it that started after me?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the two prior comments that were below, one gentleman was, or woman, I couldn't tell by the name, is unhappy making 26K. The next gentleman, the one who made the point about Russia, MMA, he's thrilled at 30K, right? Natasha's talking about fixing the sink. Here's Malcolm, he's thrilled at under 50K. That's a big, Malcolm Dash can do a lot more for the world in a lot of ways than I can at this point in my life. If I was making content when I was 23, 24, 25, making 32K, 40K, I would have crushed, because there's so much more there.
Yeah.
Like we need to attack this.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
And by the way, that doesn't mean there isn't issues with like separation of wealth. There's things we have to change, but we have to also, while we're tearing down things that aren't working, we desperately have to build up things that are working. And Malcolm fucking Dash is working. Like this man, literally, that's a big fucking deal. Malcolm, please make content why you're happy. Please.